I'm Kayla Valterno. I was once the girl in the red house, and now I'm the woman living beyond it. I've spent years climbing out of the darkness, and now I'm reaching back to help you do the same. This podcast is about the messy, honest work of breaking cycles, taking your voice back, and building a life that's truly yours. Whether you're in the early stages of your healing, years into it, or ready to write your own story, you belong here. Welcome back to Beyond the Red House. So, today I want to talk about something I've been learning the hard way. I touched a little bit on this topic on last week's episode. Just saying your body remembers everything, even when your mind thinks it's moved on. So, for the past few months, I've picked up a new hobby that has been unexpectedly very therapeutic for me. And I want to share it because it's taught me something I didn't know I needed to learn. I've always tried different hobbies and found a very hard time finding ones that I actually like, can do, or good at. When I was in my teens and early 20s, I stress baked cookies, brownies, cupcakes, whatever. When I was overwhelmed, I would bake. And there was something about measuring ingredients, mixing the batter, pulling those warm cookies out of the oven that calmed me down. I think it was because I didn't have to think about it. Everything is structured, it's done for me. But now that I'm in my 30s and I'm a mom, I really didn't want to have constant trays of cookies and cupcakes and anything else around my kids because sugar plus hyper children equals overstimulated mom. If you know, you know. So I've been making sourdough bread instead, and it's been life-changing. So why sourdough? At first, it was just something to do with my hands. I also was like, I really like sourdough bread. I tried at Aldi. I want to make it myself. I was watching a bunch of TikToks and Instagram reels, and I was like, oh, I could do that. And it didn't require me to think too much. But then I realized when I was kneading the dough, doing the stretch and fold, shaping the loaf, it calms my mind in a way nothing else does. And if you're like me and your brain truly never stops replaying conversations, planning ahead, worrying about things that have never happened yet or probably won't ever happen, you know how rare that is to find a moment of silence. Even if it's just for a few minutes, that life-changing few minutes of peace and quiet is amazing. And sourdough gives me that. And I didn't realize what I was doing. I just started baking more than just bread. I actually started making Cheez-Its, pizza dough. I even made tortillas one day. It became fun. But more than that, it became a way to silence my brain, to ground my body, and then I learned something that I hadn't expected. This is a form of somatic exercise. And if you're not familiar with somatic exercises, they're just movements or activities that help you release trauma that is stored in your body. Things like yoga, dance, working with your hands, gardening, things like that. I didn't set out to do somatic healing because I didn't know what it was. I just wanted to make some bread. But apparently my body knew what I needed. I have done a lot of healing work, especially on my mind, with my mind. I've processed trauma. I've written my story. I put out the work, put in the work. I noticed something though, at least once a week, and this is why I ended up taking my break. I couldn't fall asleep. It started to be more than once a week. I would notice that my body was shaking. Not in like an obvious way, more like an internal tremor. Like my nervous system is stuck on fight or flight mode. It won't shut off. I would lie there wide awake and trying to just calm my body down. And here's what I noticed. On the days that I baked, I fell asleep faster, easier, less spiraling. And that's not a coincidence, is it? So I did go on my break. I did take a little vacation, and I didn't have my sourdough starter. I wasn't making any bread. By the third night, I was shaking again, anxious, lying awake, feeling like my body was remembering things that my mind had already worked through. And I kept thinking, I should be healed by now, shouldn't I? Like, what is going on? Why is my body still acting like this? And then it hit me. Your body remembers everything, even if your mind has moved past it. And your body remembers more than you think. And this is something we don't talk about enough in trauma healing conversations because we focus so much on that mental healing, therapy, journaling, writing, and processing memories, reframing stories. And all of that is important, critical even. But your body is holding on to things too. Your nervous system does not care that you've done the work. It does not care if you've written your memoir, set boundaries, gone no contact. Your body still remembers the hypervigilance, the fear, the moment you realized you weren't safe. And until you address that, until you help your body release what you've been holding, you're only healing half of yourself. So I'm, of course, not a therapist, not a somatic practitioner. I am just someone who's been healing for over a decade now and learning how deep this work goes. But here's what I've learned. Somatic healing is about reconnecting your body and helping it process trauma that's been stored physically, not just mentally. When you experience trauma, your body goes into survival mode, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And sometimes, even when the danger's gone, your body can stay stuck in that mode. That's why you could feel anxious for no reason, startle easily, have trouble sleeping, feel shaky, restless, get triggered by sounds, smells, situations that remind your body of the past. Truly, your body is just trying to protect you. It doesn't know that the danger's over. Somatic exercises can help tell your body, we're safe now. You can let go. So, what counts as somatic healing? You don't need to be a yoga instructor or a trained practitioner to do the somatic work. Here's some things that count. Baking bread, like I've been doing. Gardening, just getting your hands all in that soil. Dancing, even just moving your body to music works. Walking, especially in nature, on hikes, in your backyard, doing some laps, I don't know. Yoga, stretching, and shaking or trembling intentionally. Yes, this is a thing. It's called trauma release exercises. Doing deep breathing, breath work, cold water exposure, taking ice baths, cold showers. That one does not sound fun to me, to be honest. Humming or singing. It activates the vagus nerve. And anything really that reconnects you to your body and helps you feel safe in your body counts. So for me, it's making sourdough. For you, it could be completely something different. The point is, you have to find what helps you because everyone's body is different. So what am I doing now? Since I've taken my time away, I have been more intentional about baking. Not just when I feel like it, but using it as a tool to help my nervous system calm down. But I'm also looking into different somatic exercises for the days I don't bake. Some yoga, grounding exercises. Just letting my body move to music. And I realized that healing is not just all about your mind, even though for the longest time, that's all I was focused on. It's about your body too. Because you can process every memory. You could rewrite every story. You can set every boundary. But if your body's still holding on to that trauma, you're not fully healed yet. And two parts of healing. So, what I want you to take away from this episode is healing has two parts, your body and your mind. Your mind needs maybe therapy, writing memoirs, poetry like me, letters, reframing stories, going no contact, setting boundaries. But your body needs movement, grounding, release, safety cues that are telling your nervous system, okay, well, we're safe now. Both matter. Both need healing. Don't forget to take care of your body. And of course, don't forget to take care of your mind. And if you're listening to this saying, I've been doing all the mental work, but I still feel anxious, shaky, restless, you're not broken. Your body just needs something a little different than what you've been doing. That's okay. Doesn't mean you've failed. It doesn't mean if you've done therapy, it doesn't mean that your therapy didn't work. It doesn't mean that you're not strong enough. It just means your body needs help too. Thank you so much for listening to Beyond the Red House. And ever since I started this sourdough journey, I have been the person who wants to talk about the starter, why is my dough looking a little strange? And I know not everyone wants to hear that, but some of you do. So if you join the Beyond the Red House community, whichever tier, and you want to talk about sourdough, please do. Or gardening, painting, whatever your hands-on healing hobby is, I'm here for it. I'm willing to try anything at this point. So if it's working for you, let me know. I want to know. And of course, my 3 tiers you know about. Tier 1 is where we do all this fun talking, the Q&A, your courses, writing prompts. Tier 2 is when you're writing your memoir. It's to finish my memoir course. And of course, tier 3 is the intensive one-on-one memoir support where I only work with 5 people at a time, and those spots are available on a rolling basis. And some of the best conversations can happen in the community. Thank you so much for listening, doing the work. You're doing better than you think you are, and I'm so proud of you. Talk to you next time.